It's Richard Holzmuller, and today we're eating some pizza. And in honor of this special occasion, I've got my Poppy's Pizza vintage Abercrombie Fitch t-shirt from, you know, how I do it 20 years ago. And so I rarely wear it, but I still got it. So here we are, celebrating. And so what we're doing here is I've got my vegan pizza, and I'm comparing 5 vegan cheeses to 5 gourmet cheeses and seeing how this goes. I did this a couple weeks ago, and it was a really simple process. I just got my crust, put a little bit of sauce on it, sprinkled my Italian seasoning on it, shredded some cheeses. I think I even did 5 at the time we were there too. Threw it in the oven, and it was done less than an hour. This time around, because I'm always trying to do better, always pushing myself to do better, and just like, you know, all right, that was good, but how can I make this better? So, essentially did the same process, but, you know, I'm going to, you know, step by step walk you through this. So, on the vegan pizza, I have this rustic, old world flatbread crust, and then on the gourmet cheese pizza, I got this gluten-free Schar crust. So anyway, then we start with the crusts on that, and then so with the sauce, I use the Rouse sauce over here, and no sauce has it all. I mean, you can get marginal better differences between your sauces, but you know, I kicked it up a notch. Got a cup of the sauce, put it in my magic bullet, and got a bulb of fresh garlic, peeled it, and then threw the little cloves into the magic bullet, minced that up, puree, put it back in a jar, and then I poured that all over the crusts over here. So that was the crust and the sauce, and of course we got Done's Italian seasoning, generously, liberally pouring it onto that, because I mean it's dried, and right, it's Tony's. You know, I mean, there you can get some higher quality stuff where you can use maybe a little bit less and get, you know, stronger flavor, but still it's dried. You know, so you got to use a little bit more of whatever you're doing on that. Now, great. So we got the crust, we got the sauce, we got the Italian seasoning. So now it's at the cheeses. The cheeses that I did on this was on the vegan pizza. I have a Daya medium cheddar, and then there's the Monterey Jack Daya, and then I have Daya pepper jack. I'm sorry, that was the mozzarella. I'm reading the pepper jack when I showed that. So Daya mozzarella, Daya pepper jack, and then also Daya cheddar style. And so somebody said to shred. The ones that I had to shred, I like the flavor on those better than the ones that are pre-shredded for me. Although that pepper jack had great flavor on its own. And so that was it. The cheeses on there. And now the cheeses on the gourmet pizza was a Jarlsberg, and then honey bee goat Gouda. We also had Manchego that I shredded onto that. Wexford mature cheddar. In my cheese video, I was telling you it was from England. It's not from England, it's from Ireland. Apologies to all of you people who know this cheddar, and who am I offended? I apologize. This is from Ireland, not from England. And okay, yeah, and then my Gruyere. Gruyere's already gone because, you know, I love Gruyere, and I took care of all of that. So, great. Now we get the cheeses. So, and of course, the inspiration for the 5 cheese pizzas was the Godfather's pizza. I was getting little single pizzas, and the single cheese pizza was just like, But then they had this extreme cheese pizza that I really love, and the lady told me that it was 5 cheeses on extreme cheese pizza, and I'm like, yeah, I can make my own. So that's how we got to this point. That was the long journey, following the breadcrumbs to get back to this point, figuratively and literally. Okay, so great. And then talking to my mother, you know, she's just like, oh, the cheese pizza, that sounds great. Why don't you put some vegetables on it? I'm like, Mom, that's a brilliant idea. I'm vegetarian. Why wouldn't we put vegetables on it? So I got a red pepper, I got a yellow pepper, and I got a sweet onion, and minced those all up in my Ninja, and put those all on top over here as well. I did this last night, so the pizza's already cooked and cooled, and I wasn't in the mood for the pizza last night. I wasn't hungry, which kind of doesn't make sense. It's just like, oh, all that work, and it was late. It was late. I was tired. It was too hot. I didn't want to wait for it to cool down to eat it, so I just went to bed. Did my workout this morning. You see the weights behind me sometimes. I do a half hour on the weights, and today I did an hour and a half on the bike. That's going to be my new thing. Just do an hour and a half on the bike, 16 miles. And so I've worked up a decent appetite. So now I'm giving the vegan cheese pizza over here and this gourmet cheese pizza its best shots, because most things taste better when you're hungry. I mean, if you're not hungry, it's just kind of like, it doesn't taste so good. But when you're hungry, it's like almost anything's like, yeah, it's completely different. So here we go. Enough talk. Let's get some action. There we go. Getting into this over here. Oh yeah, I like that. Even sitting overnight. And by sitting overnight too, sometimes those flavors marry, and you get a better flavor. You've done it. You bake up like your lasagna, your ziti's, whatever, and then you have it in like the next day, and it's just like, wow, this tastes so much better than one last night when it was fresh. So I'm hoping there's a similar effect over here. And of course, I did wash my hands before doing all of this, especially after a workout, you know what I mean? Those weights are not clean. Like I wear gloves, but those gloves, man, if I show you these gloves, are like, yeah, they're not the cleanest either. All right. Yeah, you can still see me. Cool. So I got similarly sized slices over here, and so yeah, the Rustic Crust is thicker and rustic. It's like 6 grain, whatever. And then this gluten-free dealio is almost as thick. You can see I really was generous with the cheese and the sauce. I love cheese, I love sauce, and like a lot of times with the pizzas I get from any place, it's just like there's never enough sauce, and the cheese is whatever, so okay, so it's generous. I am going to, oh boy, which one do I need to start with over here? You know what, like I said, I'm going to give this vegan cheese the best opportunity it can, being that I'm a little bit more hungry now. This should taste better. Crunch. Excuse me. Love the crunch. I was very generous with the sauce and cheese. That's great. Keep in mind this is cold, but as much as garlic as I put in that sauce, can't really taste the garlic too much, which is interesting. Garlic's flavor enhancer, and okay, all right, I'm getting a little bit of flavor of the garlic, which is okay. You don't want it to be overpowering either. That's good. That's actually very good. That's way better than I thought with this vegan cheese pizza. I kind of thought like, no way. So, I've done that. And now let's see what's going on with this iGourmet. Well, 4-5 iGourmet. The other one I got from the grocery store with the Ellsworth. Let's see what's up with this. It's great. Definitely have much more cheesy flavor on that. Of course, it's real cheese. And so that gives it a lot more character. The authentic cheeses over here that I use. And like, I didn't even, use like your commercial cheeses, which like, and I'm thinking if you just use commercial cheeses, just regular old grocery store cheeses, and you know, with your vegan cheeses over here, they're probably going to be on par. Like here in the States, it's interesting. Like try to buy organic more often than not, and then like comparing my organic beans to the non-organic beans, not much difference here in the States. But then I eat my European beans and from Macedonia, from Portugal, when I go there, and the flavor is just, there's no comparison. There's a distinct, complete, obvious difference between my European beans and my American beans, whether it's organic or commercial. So I don't know why, but that's just how it is. So, in any case, no, these are both fantastic. You know, like I said, this has got a little more flavor. This is my European cheeses. There's my domestic vegan cheeses. But it's like, I want to say if you want something more exotic, go this way. But a vegan cheese pizza. Who do you know that eats vegan cheese pizzas? Probably most people don't know someone who eats vegan cheese pizzas. And I'm gonna give this one more shot. Now that they've kind of like, I've done this, a little bit of this. Man, there's so much more flavor on this one. You can kind of see the direction I'm leaning on this. It's like, it's lingering, and it's just kind of calling me to say, like, eat more. All right, vegan cheese pizza, there we go. And if you want that crispy crust, probably want to go with that Rustic Crust. Maybe, I bet, if I put this in the oven for my gluten-free crust over here, if I put this in the oven for, 15 more minutes and warm it up like I should, I bet this will crust up and be crunchy as well. But yeah, that's what's drawn me more so to this little guy. So here, love the crust. Here, love the cheesy flavor. They're both freaking fantastic. Like, I don't know, man. Honestly, if you're over here and joining me over here, you would like them both too. There's no doubt in my mind. They're both very well done. And I think it's the care and attention that I've used to put it together. I think that helps too. Yeah. Definitely enjoyable. All right, one other consideration. You know, with the traditional cheese pizzas, these dairy products, they've got the animal products, all animal products have cholesterol in it, and if you have, good diet and exercise, you can work through that, and you can still have higher good cholesterol than your bad cholesterol. I don't know what the difference is. I'm not a doctor. ABD, 6 years in the doctoral program. So, any case, so the one benefit on this, of the vegan cheese pizzas, is there's no cholesterol. So, like, you could diet. You've got to pay attention to your diet either way. You've got to, keep it in balance with the diet and exercise. You can't just say like, oh yeah, I'm eating a vegan cheese pizza, so I don't need to exercise. I can just lounge around, or like, there's whatever. Everything comes at a price. So if you want to, you're gonna win either way. Which way are you gonna go? Honestly, probably gonna do both again in the future as well. Just because, sometimes I go into, I want cheese, and sometimes I just want something that's like my traditional cheese. So I like them both. I love them both, and try them both. Do your own, and you'll have fun, and it's a good time, and it's something to do. What else are you gonna do? All right, thanks for checking in. Don't forget about my student loan book and the other book that I got there on Amazon. They would love to see you Just like you see me. Okay, I'll see you again sometime.